Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. So today's topic is actually the same topic as yesterday, but I had technical difficulty. It wasn't connecting to my Facebook page. So I think I got everything squared away, but I'm checking my Facebook now, make sure it's going live, and it looks like it is. So we're good. So sorry about yesterday if you were watching yesterday, but today and yesterday, we were talking about how important your personality matters in doing business, and also how important the connection is with people and your future or potential and current clients. So early on in my career, I learned that because one thing I say all the time, and many of the agents watching this have heard me say this in my coaching and one-on-one coaching, and that is that, and even the agents that just got their license, got a lot of agents that just got their license. And I said this is that I think real estate sales is the best sales to be in. Obviously, I'm a little biased to it because we're in it, but because every single person you talk to or in front of or run into or buy is a potential client, unless they're another realtor. So everybody is a potential client. You could sell houses. If you're licensed in Ohio, you could sell all over Ohio. Any house in Ohio, you can do it. But you really can sell houses anywhere in the world. But if you don't have a license in that state or country, you have to team up with another agent or refer to another agent, but you can earn income on that on referral fees. So I would say look outside the box. So what that means is, to me, is that every single person you talk to or connected to on vacation, out of state, around here, anybody is a potential client. Everybody you run into should give you your card. Before you leave their site, you should know that you're in real estate. So what does that mean? Is that you're kind of on duty all the time. You have to be on. You have to have a personality and a connection with people all of the time. So, I mean, of course, you could shut it off if you want, but you should be always aware that you are a realtor. Everybody that's around you or sees you or connects with you is going to know you're in real estate and might want to do business with you or refer you to someone who does business with you. And what kind of personality and connection are you going to have with those people? Everybody. So that's how I think is everywhere I go, I'm on duty as a realtor and want them to refer business to me or themselves. Same with you. You should be thinking about that. So I'm going to give you 5 things to always think about with just even a moment's notice when you're talking to people, when you're meeting with people, you're out having dinner, and the servers, anybody that you come in contact, you got to think of these things, because some of this building a connection in your personality could be a 30-second thing, could be a 2-second thing, could be a 2-hour thing. But here are some things to think about on that. So one, you want to build a rapport with people. Doesn't matter how fast. It's just a rapport. Like, how are they going to perceive you as a person with that interaction that you're having with people. And when you're having conversation, there's 5 things to think about. Is your tone, volume, pace, language, and body language. So we went over this a few videos ago, but always think of those 5 things, like tone. When people like to talk to other people that are very like them. So the same tone, not the same level. You want to be a loud talker and they're a soft talker. You could bring it down a notch if they're kind of a quiet talker. If they're loud, you kind of can be loud. People just connect more often with people that are like them. So tone and volume, pace. If you're a fast talker, they're a fast talker. They might want a fast talker. Nothing irritates, in my opinion, a fast talker having being talked to a slow talker, and a slow talker that likes to take things slow in a conversation, and they're talking to a fast talker. I'm a fast talker, I think, most of the time. I try to keep it down here. So always think of building rapport. Number 1 is watch your tone, your volume, your pace, your language, and how you talk. Just the types of language, the types of words you use. Be aware So you could kind of like, it's like a conversation is like a dance. You got to be in sync. And the better you are in sync with someone, the more of a connection they feel with you. Number two, 100% focus on people. Listen with your eyes and ears and body, which means, don't be on your side body as like you're halfway walking away when you're trying to have a conversation with people. Listen with your ears, of course, and pay attention, and finish their sentences. I'm big with that. I'm sorry to people I talk to. Sometimes I'm a fast talker, so sometimes I finish people's sentences when they're when they're trying to talk. But some people that is very irritating. I think it is, but I try to stop it. So listen with your ears. Pay attention, take it at their pace, and listen with your eyes. Like, don't be looking around or looking at your phone. That's a big thing. That's now I see with, now that I'm 50 years old, I say the younger kids, my kids, I see them talking to each other while they're looking at their phone. And that's to them. It's to some kids, it's not. They don't care. That's how they communicate. They could both be looking at their phone and know that they're connecting. I recommend not doing that to someone else, but if they do it to you, that's their way of communicating, but not really do it to them. But be engaged or understand to listen, and listen with your eyes and looking them in the eyes. Don't be don't stare them down. But there's one thing, and it was Tom Ferry. I remember watching a video of his, and he suggested going back eye to eye. How do I, just little things like that. You don't even think of that as looking at each different eye, look at their forehead, look at their nose, because you don't want to stare them right in the same eye the whole time. That's kind of creepy. And the other thing he made a joke about is don't look at their mouths. That's kind of creepy too. So try this at home. It's kind of funny when your spouse or your kids are talking with you. Look at them. They'll probably think you're weird because sometimes we talk to our family, we're all looking around, but engage, pay attention, look at their eyes, look at their nose, look at their forehead, see if they notice what you're doing, and show that you are paying attention. So that builds a connection with people. 3 is engage in good questions in the context that you're talking in. So obviously, if you're friends, you're talking about different things, your acquaintances talking about different things. But when you're talking about someone, a potential client, think of things, because when you're in real estate, and you tell them you're in real estate, a lot of people have questions, which is great. They're like, how's the market? What are the prices? What are the prices in my area? Everybody wants to know something in real estate. And you say, oh, you're in real estate. How's the market? So have information ready, so you're on top of the game. So you have questions, so they can say, wow, you don't want to say, they go, how's the market? I'm like, I don't know today. I haven't looked to see what's been selling. You should have information and have information ready, or at least some answers to questions about what's going on in the market around you, especially if you're going to family events, friends. I really stress this to agents all the time, is that remember, you're on duty all the time. I remember early on in my career, in my 20s, I'm still with my friends. I'm doing 20-year-old things and doing stuff and acting like a 20-some-year-old. And I noticed that some of my friends weren't referring business to me to other friends, or even their parents or their family, even though I was in real estate, because when I'm around them, I'm still their friend. I'm not Tony, the real estate broker. I'm just a friend. So especially with friends and family, where you have a very casual relationship with, especially the people that you've been friends with through high school and college, sometimes they view you as that crazy friend that you've always had. They don't look at you as a professional, because they don't see you with your clients. They don't see you at the office, or they don't see you when you're working on something, because you haven't had a connection. They haven't had a sale with you yet, and they haven't been a client yet. So all the younger agents out there, when you're with your friends, you don't have to be, Mr. or Mrs. Perfect Professional. You can be their friend, but remind them and kind of show them, or have stories to tell about the things that you're accomplishing. I was bad at that early on because I never wanted to talk about my business. I kept my business separate, friends separate. But then they knew I was in real estate, but they didn't. I never had told them stories, and I noticed that it didn't connect with them to refer me to their people without me asking, because they didn't look at me as their trusted advisor and friend. They just looked at me as a friend. So that's part of what I'm saying today, is build a connection with people, but also make sure there's a business connection. They remind them that you're in real estate and you're this professional and real estate advisor, and you can help anybody that they refer you to. You're not just their crazy friend or cousin or brother-in-law, that they're all, because they don't see you in that professional when you're doing your business every day. They only see you in a casual way. So make sure you make that connection and have good conversations with people about real estate. And then also, on a personal note, when you're talking with people, always be aware of asking them questions and talking about things that they want to talk about. You don't want to dominate a conversation all of the time. People want to see people are listening to them. They feel a connection more with people that are listeners than people that are talkers. So you want to be a good listener, because people love to hear themselves talk. So if you let them talk, I guarantee, if you've ever been in a long conversation with someone that did 95% of the talking, they felt that you were listening, they'll leave that conversation, go, we had a great conversation. And you're sitting there going, we didn't really have a conversation. You just talked for 95% of the time. And I just said, yep, yes. Asked you a few questions. But that's a connection. They built that connection with you. Number 4, be aware of your space and your touch. So again, you got to be aware. How far do I have to be away? Now it's pretty easy. We want to stay 6 feet apart. So, and now it's kind of hard because some people don't do that. So I've talked to several agents, like, how do I address this? I have people that want to go to houses. They don't want to wear masks, but I want to wear a mask. And I want to stay 6 feet apart, and they want to get in my car. I help work agents through those type of scenarios and kind of role play and things to say, and to make it easier for everybody to understand your point of view on things. So be aware of your space. Be aware of your touch. Touch is simple. I know some of this is basic stuff, but think about it. And when I know over the many years I've talked to agents, and they've told me that, oh yeah, I'd never thought of that. And when I saw it happen and what you told me, it worked. Like an example, when you shake someone's hand, if you shake someone's hand, sometimes they grab your hand, sometimes they grab your arm, sometimes they put your hand on your shoulder. You can be aware of that. That's their way of saying, I'm more connected with you, or I'm more comfortable with you than just shaking your hand straight out like this. They don't touch your hand. So make a mental note that person likes that. So if you do it back to them, it's their point. Oh, you're more connected with me. So you shake hands. You greet each other the same way. So that's how they greet the people that they're connected to. So watch how they greet you or say goodbye to you. I say, don't touch before you're touched. Like example, don't touch their hand or their shoulder or anything unless that's the type of person they are. I've walked agents through ideas of connecting with people, like at listing appointments when you're walking through the house, and how to, don't be opening up cupboards or drawers or anything that they don't allow you to look into. Always ask them for permission. But again, you have to watch the flow of the conversation of what they're doing when they're walking you through their house and the things they're seeing. And if they're talking about their family and things that they've upgraded in the house, ask them more questions. Like they say, wow, me and my family, we built this deck. I'm like, oh, really? You built the deck? How long did that take? What kind of materials did you use at the time? What year was that? People are very proud about things that they do. So be aware of things that they're telling you, and they'll give you clues of things that they like to talk about. And when they talk about it more and you ask them questions about things they want to talk about, makes you feel like you're more of a connection with them. And last today is about charismatic people. Now, and actual personality. Some things is that like the most like introverts and extroverts. People think automatically like a major extrovert or very charismatic people are the best salespeople. I don't agree with that. I think that people that could judge in what situations they should be. No one wants some people just don't want the loudest person or the person that takes up the conversation and talks more than listens more all of the time. You have to judge with the group or the people you are with. So, I mean, we all have those. Everybody that we're connected to or around, we could tell, especially in social settings, like that person, I like to be around that person because they tell a lot of stories and they're always talking and they're very charismatic. And I go, I like to talk to these people because he's a better listener and we have more in-depth conversation and they don't talk, we talk 50-50 we go back and forth. So because everybody's a potential customer, when you go out in public and you're in social settings, you're always networking. So always remember that you're always networking. Everybody around is a potential client. Remember that. So you're always kind of in networking mode. So you can't just be the exact person you want to be all the time. Be you, but be more aware of how connect with both people. So you could be over here in this corner at a social function and be talking with someone, and you're loud, you're very charismatic, you're telling stories and going over here, and then take the time to settle down, talk to that person that's sitting on the couch and that's just really wants to listen and have a deep conversation. So you got to be a chameleon. You got to be a social and connection with individual, a chameleon on that. And the person that the agents and the salespeople that hone that skill of being able to change those connections and how they're talking to people, how they answer questions, their tone, how they engage with people, with different people, really could are more successful in real estate than the ones that are just one way and the clients that like them are the exact same way. And I see that a lot too. So you want, again, I throw in the word chameleon, being a communicating chameleon and changing your colors, changing your ways, changing be aware of your surroundings to blend in to your surroundings when you're connecting with people. And that could be, at a moment's notice. So hopefully those 5 things help you think about things. I mean, of 28 years being in real estate, it's just a thing. Every time I go somewhere, I'm prepared for how I'm going to be, or try to, in my head, have situations like, okay, these people are going to be here. This is a business function. This is a family function. This is both. This is this. How how I'm dressed. How I'm going to act. How am I going to communicate with people? I know that sounds draining to some people, and especially my family and friends. Sometimes I tell them this, like, wow, that sounds a lot of draining. It doesn't sound like a lot of fun. But I'm like that OCD type person. I try to prepare for every situation. I'm always planning. I'm always looking ahead. So think of that. Always plan, look ahead, because again, every single person you talk to is going to be a potential client or want to refer you, and they're seeing you in that light then. So make sure this is fun for you too. Don't do this because it's hard to do. Just be yourself, but be aware. Try to do some of these things that connect with people. Pass out your cards, remind people that you're in real estate, ask for referrals, and use all of these things because, again, I'm not going back to my long career in real estate so far, but early on in my career, I didn't do that. And I know I was missing out on a lot of referrals because I wasn't getting them early on. It took me years to finally get more referrals from my sphere of influence because I didn't realize I wasn't doing these things that I was what I'm trying to explain to you what you should be doing now. So that's it for today. Have a great Friday. Sorry about the technical difficulty yesterday. And remember, reach out to me, use me as a resource if you want to go over any of this or ideas, or you have ideas. I've learned a lot, and the things that I'm telling you is things that I've gotten from coaches, from other agents. They go, this works. And I'm like, wow, that works for you. I never had that someone tell me that. So if you have different ideas and thoughts of things that I'm doing in these videos, I would love to hear from you. And that's how things get, things change, and I add things to some of my videos that I've learned over the years that other agents have taught me that work for them. So anything that works for you and things that help you with your business, I'm happy to add into my videos and out there, and express that to other agents and help them with their business. So that's it. Have a wonderful Friday, great weekend. We'll see you Monday at 11. Bye-bye.